We're down to the final 20 seconds. San Antonio, a lot of people talked about their 99 title having an asterisk next to it. The 2003 title's about to have an exclamation point next to it.
This is Tim Duncan, one of the greatest players ever, winning his second of his 5 NBA championships. If you notice, during the beginning of the celebration broadcast, there was one thing that stood out that was said.
San Antonio, a lot of people talked about their 99 title having an asterisk next to it.
This is because Tim Duncan won his first NBA championship in '99 in what could be considered the most asterisk terms ever. The year directly after Michael Jordan and Phil Jackson retired, and obviously that dynasty ended. The NBA that season actually had a lockout year where they only played 50 games. Just for context purposes, the last lockout year in 2012, they played 66 games. Do you know how many total games the champion Spurs played that year? 67. And oh, they beat a team that was an 8th seed on a Cinderella run without their franchise guy. Now, why exactly am I saying all of this? No, not to demean Tim Duncan. No, not to take away from any of his greatness. None of that. But something I'm noticing in this sport particularly, some of the all-time greats' first championships tend to have this theme. The Oklahoma City Thunder just won their first NBA championship, which ultimately means what? Well, this trade just aged all-time bad for the Clippers. Shea, to me, he's the greatest Oklahoma City Thunder ever, and he just literally had one of the greatest years we've ever seen. Scoring champion, MVP, team won 68 games with him having the numbers, and most importantly, won the NBA championship and won Finals MVP. And oh, the architect behind all of this, Sam Presti, he can officially be known as not only the guy that drafted Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden consecutively, but legitimately one of the greatest GMs the NBA has ever seen. And he's stamped with the ring now. Now, with all of that being said, we know this championship is not black and white, and it's starting to feel like no championship is. Unfortunately, this happened. And also, unfortunately, this will give this ring a fat-ass asterisk in a lot of people's minds. Now, Shea was the first player in 10 years to actually win the MVP and an NBA championship in the same season. Ironically enough, the last player to do this, and the last team to do this specifically, they actually have a lot of parallels between this year's MVP and this year's champion.
With the youth, this team, I've said it before on this show, it will be the youngest team ever to reach the finals and the youngest team to win it, of course. They also have only won one playoff series together.
Today's video is sponsored by SeatGeek. The NBA season is unfortunately over, but we still have the WNBA, concerts, festivals, and the NFL looming. If there's any live event that you want to attend currently or in the future, my friends over at SeatGeek has you covered. Everybody can use my promo code Swishout 2025 and get 10% off your next set of tickets. This goes for all live events, sports, concerts, festivals, comedy shows, really wherever you want. SeatGeek does all the hard work for you, and they rate their own tickets on a scale of 1 to 10. The greener the dots, the better the deal. The yellow, orange, red ones, you should probably consider some different tickets. Also, all of their tickets are backed by their buyer's guarantee, so you can feel secure getting your spot. If you don't really care about any particular event right now, that's okay. Still click the link in my description box below to download the app and have my code automatically added to your account. You can use it later. That's 10% off of any tickets with my promo code Swishout 2025.
I would like nothing more than to see them in the finals next year because they're exciting. I don't think they'll win the championship next year, but I think they'll be a great team. Yep. So like I said, he's still in the honeymoon stage. He can say what he wants. Sure.
Before Golden State won their first NBA championship, these were the best seasons of the 2000s record-wise, and this happened to be their results. The Big Three Heatles and the Shaq and Kobe Lakers were clearly the most dominant teams that we've seen. Prior to Golden State winning that championship in 2015, they were essentially viewed as this young, fun team that nobody really knew what their ceiling was. Then they strategically added a few pieces, and they started 2015 21-2, and then it went to 43-9, And then it ultimately resulted in 67 wins, and still, people just didn't believe.
Gridley, no Warriors, no Warriors, no Warriors, no Spurs.
How can you dismiss a team that has the best record, is number one shooting the ball, is number one in field goal percentage?
I don't like jump shooting teams. I don't think you can win the championship beating good teams shooting jumpers.
Now, mind you, this was way before the league shifted into this heavy three-point era that we know now. But ultimately, everybody who doubted Stephen Curry's ankles, the Warriors' play style, Charles Barkley, who seemed to be the loudest at that time, they were all wrong. And nobody can take away this moment right here. But best believe they tried.
Opinion on how you can win a finals?
No, not really, because I still think if Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving had been healthy, they would have won that series.
Drew Holiday in the first round battled injuries. Mike Conley in the second round battled injuries, most notably in the finals. This happened to Kyrie after Kevin Love had already gotten injured. Even the Clippers choking in the semifinals to Houston, that was somehow used against Golden State to discount their championship.
The injuries, the underdog story, it makes this moment so much more special.
Remember I showed you the best seasons of the century pre-Golden State winning that championship in 2015. Well, this is what it looked like after they won. They literally had one of the most dominant seasons ever. And at that time, it felt like nobody cared.
Have you silenced the critics who said that a jump shooting team can't win a championship? What if Charles says, I don't believe it. I still don't think a team that shoots jump shots can win a championship. What do you tell him?
Hopefully it'll be like deja vu.
Now, bringing this all back to OKC, forget the century. OKC just had one of the most dominant years ever. If you look at that same list all time of any team that made or won the finals and the best records, you see Golden State in 2015 and right below them, this year's OKC team. It's an old saying that defense wins championships in sports, and it proved itself with this year's OKC team and Golden State 10 years ago. OKC was only the second team this century to have the best defense in the regular season and also have that translate into the playoffs. The first team was who? Golden State in their first championship. The Golden State Warriors 10 years ago, they were one of the youngest teams to ever win an NBA championship. OKC this year, they were also one of the youngest teams to ever win an NBA championship. We know Shea is an extremely polarizing player, and even his MVP seemed a little bit controversial. Well, 10 years ago, it was a very similar feel with Steph and his MVP, and they were both 26 years old. Golden State fell down 2-1 in the second round to Memphis and the NBA Finals, literally just like OKC this year.
Let's talk about the Boston Celtics winning it all. You have to make this case. They are up there in the rarefied air. That's how dominant this team is. Okay, I mean, put it in perspective, because I don't know why these Celtics are viewed as anything less than one of the all-time great dominant teams that we've seen from start to finish.
If you look at that same list I showed you of the most dominant years of all time, including a finals, you see Golden State twice, the team that lost and won, OKC this year, and right below them, who? Last year's NBA champions, the Boston Celtics. Literally 1 year ago today, it felt like we were having this exact same conversation about Boston and their title. No Jimmy Butler in the first round, no Donovan Mitchell, no Tyrese Halliburton, and somehow a team that did all of this, their ring wasn't legit? Now, what exactly do all three of these teams, OKC this year, Boston last year, and Golden State 10 years ago, what do they all have in common? A 26-year-old superstar? Sure, that's pretty ironic, but yes. Fortune? Absolutely. But most importantly, what Golden State coined at that time, strength in numbers and the most complete team all year. In the last 15 years, the 4 championship teams with the highest net ratings for the full year is Golden State in 2017, the best team I've ever seen. OKC this year, Boston last year, and Golden State 10 years ago. Same exact thing. In the last 15 years, the teams with the highest point differentials per game, championship teams, is Golden State in 2017, OKC this year, Boston last year, and Golden State 10 years ago. It's extremely unfortunate that injuries occurred in all 3 of these championship runs. Absolutely. But these are 3 of the most complete teams from October to June of our era, and it's not their faults at all. LeBron's first ring, lockout year. Steph's first ring, no Kevin Love or Kyrie. Kawhi doesn't really have the longevity numbers-wise to really validate his greatness. You kind of just had to be there. But in my opinion, the reason he was right here is because he won this championship. This moment right here to me changed the whole trajectory of Kawhi's career. And we know what happened during that finals. Giannis's first championship. We all seen those first 2 games against Brooklyn, and we ultimately seen what happened to Kyrie. I'm not quite sure if Giannis is winning another one, and that one ring completely changed this man's legacy. Do I look at it any different given the circumstances? No. The silliest thing I believe NBA fans do is put asterisks behind NBA championships. But the dumbest thing I believe NBA fans do is put asterisks behind NBA championship teams that were literally the best teams all year. If you guys like this video, prayers up for Tyrese, and I hope he will come back 1000%. But OKC, congrats to them, bro. They were the best team all year, and they do deserve this. Follow my social media sites, turn on post notifications, do all that great stuff, guys. And until next time, as always, stay tuned.